हेलो एंड गुड आफ्टरनून गाइस। रेडियो जिंदगी 1550 एम पर आप पहुंचे हैं। आप ट्यूसडे वाली है शाम शाम के ठीक 4:08 समय हो चला है। एंड एज यू नो दैट यू मीट डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया ऑन एयर ऑन रेडियो जिंदगी एवरी ट्यूसडे 4 to 5 p.m. डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया लेकर आते हैं शो आपके लिए। ही इज अ renowned astrologer, internationally renowned astrologer, or he has earned his PhD in the subject of astrology, and he's also a certified numerologist. 25 साल से ज्यादा का एक्सपीरियंस है उन्हें और मोर देन 12,000 satisfied clients हैं globally. So if you are looking for answers, if you're looking for any guidance when it comes to astrology, numerology, and even vastu, आप कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं डॉक्टर साकेत भाटिया के साथ. The number where you can reach his office, his team directly is 408-639-5300. You can call this number, you can make an appointment, meet him. He's right here in the Bay Area. Again, the number is 408-639-5300. And for all the information regarding him, refer to the website saketbhatia.com. That's his first and last name, saketbhatia.com. And if you have any quick questions, studio lines will be open shortly. You can ask your question by dialing 510-770-1550. That's for a quick question during the show. Otherwise, आप Dr. Bhatia को directly connect कर सकते हैं. With that, let's begin. Hello and welcome, Dr. Bhatia. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Vedika. I'm delighted to be back on the show. Good afternoon, all the listeners. It's a pleasure being here, and I'm glad you're listening to us.
So, अभी आज हम बात करने वाले हैं जो हमारा लास्ट टॉपिक था, हम उसी को कंटिन्यू करने वाले हैं. We are going to dive deep into the practical application of planetary states, exploring how the exaltation and debilitation, I think I pronounced it correctly. Last time also I wanted to ask you, of the planet which impacts your life during its ruling period or Dasha. यहाँ हम uncover करेंगे why a seemingly weak planet might surprise you with positive results, how house placements and aspects can dramatically alter a planet's influence, and the profound effects of planetary conjunctions. So चलिए शुरुआत करते हैं.
So last week हमने बात की थी about exaltation and debilitation. Do you remember that?
जी.
हमने listeners को कहा था कि an exalted planet is like everything that goes perfect for a planet will go perfect, which means like for you, right? If you have the perfect life, the perfect clothes, the perfect food, the perfect makeup, the perfect everything, family, अगर सब कुछ आपकी लाइफ में एकदम perfect हो, how would you perform? Wonderfully, right?
Right.
Debilitation means it is still you, Vedika, but instead of being a radio jockey, now you're becoming a pharmacist, or you are an RJ, but not at Radio Zindagi studio, but in your own house, wherever you live. Like assuming you're from India, आप इंडिया में अपनी छोटे से कम्युनिटी में एक शो कर रहे हो without a microphone
जी.
and without headphones, and you're just trying to talk to people. So you see, you're still the same person, but effect change ho gaya, correct? Same way for a planet. A planet has the strength, it has the potential, it has everything, it's able to do it easily. Debilitated does not mean bad, it just means challenges आएंगे, problems होता है. So difficulty देता है ये planet, delay देता है. So that is what we are talking. Many people on this show have called, हमारा planet नीच का है, क्या होगा? जिस घर में बैठा है, that house will be completely destroyed. That's not true. If you are not able to perform, it doesn't mean the company you're working for is going to shut down, correct? If you are not able to perform, it doesn't mean that the people you're around will start not performing well. It is just you. You need to change that mindset. You need to change that personality. Astrology में क्या होता है, वो planet identify करते हैं. We are able to tell you just by looking at your chart. For example, we will talk about Mercury. When he is exalted, sweet talker, right, very witty person, humorous, sense बहुत होता है. Mercury अगर ये debilitated हो, extreme case में you may start stuttering. But if he is not stuttering, you may say hurtful things to people. You may hold back on saying things to people. You may not be very clear about what you're saying. You may be wavering in what you're saying. आप समझे? So
जी.
this is what a debilitated planet can do as opposed to the exalted planet. We identify that planet and we tell you what are the other aspects. अगर यही बुरे planet पे कोई दूसरा बुरा planet देख रहा हो या उसके साथ बैठा हो, is going to create more frustration for you, more difficulty for you. On the other hand, if there is any good planet that is transiting it या उसके साथ बैठा हो, then we can tell you in a heartbeat, you have the potential to fix this. You can improve your life and this planet is not going to be troublesome for you. तो आज के शो पे हम यही बात करेंगे, what is exalted, debilitated, dasha, how we have remedies, what do remedies really mean, can they actually change something, or they are just a placebo effect where you think something is happening जब कुछ नहीं हो रहा. This is the core focus of today's show और हम इसी के बारे में बात करेंगे. I think that is better for all of us, for our listeners. It will give them better insights as to आपकी लाइफ में ये क्या अटकन आ रही है, कौन सा प्लैनेट है, and how are we going to work around it within our limits. Okay.
जी, डेफिनेटली. सो आपने बात की अबाउट बोथ द कंडीशंस एंड हाउ पीपल बिलीव द मिथ्स एंड आर इन द मिसकंसेप्शन कि बुरा ही होता है. सो आई थिंक लास्ट वीक भी आपने काफ़ी क्लैरिफाई किया था. सो अभी अगर हम बात करें अबाउट कोई प्लैनेट की दशा के दौरान उसका क्या इफेक्ट होगा इफ द प्लैनेट इज एग्जॉल्टेड और डेबिलिटेटेड, सो उसके बारे में इफ वी कैन स्टार्ट.
See, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer.
जी.
Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Sun is exalted in Aries. Now, Vedika, question for you. Aries तो 30 degrees की साइन है, Cancer 30 degrees की साइन है, Capricorn 30 degrees की साइन है. If Jupiter is placed in Cancer, is it always exalted?
नो.
No. Exaltation की एक डिग्री होती है.
राइट.
Did you know that? Even in a sign, there is a certain degree. If the planet is at that degree, only then it is considered exalted. If it is not at
करेक्ट.
that degree, it is considered to be very strong. How
हम्म.
often do I see exalted planets? Really exalted? I think 1 out of 1,000. तो 1 out of 1,000 people जो हमें मिलने आते हैं उनके planets exalted होते हैं.
इट्स दैट रेयर.
Otherwise, it is rare. It
हम्म.
does, but again, it doesn't. Generally, many astrologers will make a mistake and say Jupiter Cancer में आ गया, exalt हो गया. No, it has to be at that degree. Anyway, the question you're asking is कि दशा कैसे जाती है, right?
जी.
So let's talk about very strong planets and exalted planets. Okay, very strong and exalted planets are like जो athlete होता है. I gave you an example last week. If he's performing in his home turf, he has lots of fans supporting him, he's going to do well. He can express himself, full potential है. अपनी दशा में exalted planet आपको बहुत opportunities देगा, which you can miss, you will get again and again. अपनी दशा में positive transformation देता है. For example, अगर Jupiter Cancer में हो, exaltation में he's going to give you a lot of money. He's going to give you a lot of wisdom. He's going to give you personal growth. Think of it as somebody just did something magical to you. जो पॉजिटिव प्लैनेट के साथ हो सकता है होगा. अगर सैटर्न आपका एग्जॉल्टेड है, हार्ड वर्क, ability to understand things, body resistance, the ability to recover from disease, ये सब देता है. Now on the other hand, अगर debilitated planet है तो think of it as an athlete who's not wearing the right gear, who's not even playing the right sport. In this case, उनकी दशा में they will give you struggle, they will give you delays. Most importantly, they will give you self-doubt. But you need to understand कि ये जो दशा होती है debilitated planet के, it is not a curse necessarily. Actually, it is a time for self-discovery. Many people have said, I want to start my business, but हमारे में confidence नहीं है. I'm not sure if the business will succeed. अरे, how will you know it will succeed or not till you don't try? Correct? How will you know a partner will cheat you or not till you don't partner with someone? This is the problem with a debilitated planet. ये आपको आपके comfort zone से निकालता है. It puts you in a zone which you've not tried. You have to now uncover your hidden strengths. You will succeed even in debilitated planet dasha. You have to actually ask yourself कि ये जो debilitated planet है ये कितना debilitated है. If it has, remember I've always told you, good planets when they aspect bad planets they help it improve, right? Same
जी.
way, if we can find some good planet, looking at that debilitated planet, we can actually help you overcome those issues in life. That's what you need to understand. The dasha will be challenging. It is not going to be bad. It is going to cause delays and a little bit of frustration. काम अटक अटक के चल रहा है. That is what a debilitated planet will do.
So we had a caller and she wanted to take the answer off air. She has given her daughter's details. Date of birth
Okay,
is May 6th, 1997. Time
May
of birth,
6th,
ji.
1997. Okay,
Time of birth is 7:25 a.m. and place
okay,
of birth is Pune, Maharashtra.
all right,
And she wanted to know when will her daughter find a life partner.
okay. Life partner, hopefully for marriage, right?
Ji.
So let's look at the Kundli. हमेशा we always ask for gender because last time एक शो में आपको कहा था कि a woman's कुंडली can be read from the ascendant or from the moon
जी.
depending on which is stronger, right? अब इस लड़की की जो कुंडली है, she's a Taurus ascendant. Taurus is run by the planet Venus. इस कुंडली में Venus is borderline, means it is sitting at 0 degrees, but ascendant lord अपने आप में बैठा है, that's considered very good. एथ हाउस जो सेवंथ हाउस है दैट इज रन बाय द प्लैनेट मार्स और इस कुंडली में मार्स इज सिटिंग इन द फोर्थ मीन्स हैप्पीनेस थ्रू मैरिज हैप्पीनेस एट होम थ्रू मैरिज दैट पार्ट इज गिवन शादी होती है टिपिकली फॉर अ वुमन ड्यूरिंग जुपिटर दशा और अंतरदशा राहु एस्पेक्ट और ट्रांजिट या सेवंथ हाउस के ट्रांजिट प्लैनेट्स या उनकी दशा के बीच अब दशा चल रही है मून मार्स की that gets over and moon rahu dasha starts. Moon and rahu in this kundli are 6 houses away, but rahu is sitting in the house of romance and moon sits in the house of sun. She should start finding her partner now. Vedika,
जी.
now is the right time. अब से लेके June 2027 तक she can find a partner. Between June of 2027 to September of 2028 is a perfect time to get married.
I
So I
hope.
would say शादी अब
जी.
मत करो, find a
जी.
partner, wait for another 2 years, get to know more people. But शादी करना between that 2027 and 2028 because that is recommended for you. June 27 through September 2028. That is better.
So I hope you got your answer. And if you have further questions regarding this point, or if you want to know more, do connect with Dr. Bhatia directly by calling him after the show, 408-639-5300. To all the listeners tuned in, सुन रहे हैं आप Astrology Show with Dr. Saket Bhatia, who is an astrologer and a numerologist. हमारे साथ ऑन एयर लाइव जुड़े हैं अभी. आप क्वेश्चन अगर पूछना चाहते हैं शो के दौरान, तो स्टूडियो लाइन पे कॉल कर सकते हैं 5107701550. दैट्स द स्टूडियो लाइन नंबर. और यू कैन लॉग ऑन टू डॉक्टर भाटियाज वेबसाइट टू गेट हिज कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर डायरेक्टली. saketbhatia.com वेबसाइट है उनकी. आप ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं info@saketbhatia.com. And we are talking about the exalted and debilitated planets. बट उसके अलावा भी आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन है तो आप कॉल कर सकते हैं, पूछ सकते हैं. It could be astrology, numerology, or Vastu related. So, are there any instances jahan debilitated planet does not give bad or delayed, जो हम बात कर रहे थे, results during its own dasha, और ऐसा क्यों होता है अगर हुआ है तो?
याद है एक लास्ट वीक कहा था नीच भंग राजयोग which means cancellation of debilitation, correct?
Right.
अगर cancellation of debilitation हो जाए and that debilitated planet is being looked at by a positive planet या it is conjunct मतलब positive planet के साथ बैठा हो then the chart will flip which means the results will actually be significantly better than even an exalted planet. Why? Because you have the power to change your personality, right? You have the power to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
नीच भंग राजयोग कहता है कि you will go through initial struggles in life. Not only will you go through initial struggles, but you will actually do better than other people. एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. Let's say Mars. which is the planet of action, right? Mars एक्शन लेता है तो कैप्रिकॉर्न में स्ट्रांग होता है. एग्जैक्टली उल्टा ऑफ कैप्रिकॉर्न इज कैंसर. मार्स इज डिबिलिटेटेड इन कैंसर. देन टेल मी कि अगर किसी का मार्स कैंसर में हो, व्हाट डज इट मीन? कैंसर इज अ हीलिंग साइन. ओके. In fact, surprisingly, I have met many surgeons who actually have Mars in cancer. Mars surgery का है, कैंसर हीलिंग का है. इट गिव्स अ वेरी गुड कॉम्बिनेशन. 10th हाउस में पता चलता है कि दिस इज अ चार्ट ऑफ अ सर्जन. The reason is because 10th house में it is already at an angle from the ascendant. Number 2, Jupiter जो इसका लॉर्ड जो exalted है, वो अगर इसको एस्पेक्ट करता है ना तो नीचभंग राजयोग हो जाता है. And Jupiter being a positive planet looks at that and says, I am going to cancel your debilitation and boost you up. These surgeons have received phenomenal success. Some of them have become pioneers in knee replacement surgery. Some have become pioneers in, you know, in brain cancer, which is what we call. I have a friend actually. I think he's in pediatric neuro-oncology, which is children's brain surgery for cancer. So this is the kind of stuff you see. Because अगर 10th house में Mars debilitated है, तो वो कुंडली बन जाती है essentially Sagittarius की, which is also run by Jupiter. It's a brilliant thing. Another rule you have to remember is अगर debilitated planet तीसरे छठे या आठवें घर का लॉर्ड हो, या डिबिलिटेटेड प्लैनेट तीसरे छठे या आठवें घर में बैठा हो, देन उसकी दशा कभी नेगेटिव रिजल्ट नहीं दे सकती. इट ऑलवेज हैज टू गिव यू पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स.
And does house placement or aspects modify the result of an exalted or debilitated planet in Dasha?
The placement of a planet in a house always impacts its dasha, always impacts its result. अगर कोई exalted planet है हमारे पास, और वो exalted planet which is Jupiter छठे घर में बैठा हो, 12वें घर में बैठा हो, या 8वें घर में बैठा हो, which is debts, loss, or hidden death, it won't bring bad results outright, but it will bring you positive results. और वो positive results जो है, they will actually start going negative after some time. It is possible you make a lot of money, you win a lottery ticket, and then you tend to splurge it all, you lose it all. That is a problem. So a good planet, जब exalted अगर छठे आठवें बारे में हो, it can give you immense results, but chances are you will lose a lot of it. You will lose most of it. On the other hand, अगर एक debilitated planet हो और वो 1, 4, 7 या 10 घर में बैठा हो, then he is actually going to start giving you troubles in those houses till you discover what the issue is, or till an astrologer discovers and says, ये आपके problem है. And then once we fix it, it starts giving you better results than even the exalted planet placed in that house.
So we had another caller, and he also wanted to take it off air. His question was regarding his nephew, whose
Okay.
date of birth is 3rd March 1992, and the time of birth is 5:17 p.m. and he was born in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And the question was that his nephew has filed for asylum, but the case has been stuck. So he just wants to know if there will be some action on that.
March 3rd, 1992,
Ji,
5:17
p.m.
in Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Yeah.
तो इमिग्रेशन की बात है, राइट?
जी.
For immigration, we need to see the following. We have to see दशा, वो तो इम्पोर्टेंट है. हमें देखना है कि 7th house कैसा placed है, 4th house कैसा placed है, 6th house. Remember, 4th house is where you are born, जहाँ आप रहते हो, correct? So if 4th house is damaged, then it is says easy हो जाता है कि you will get out. अगर 7th house is damaged, it's easy for you to get out. And 12th house में positive aspect है, easy for you to get out. अब इस individual की जो कुंडली है, उसमें 4th house is not necessarily damaged, but बहुत strong है. So 4th house is pointing to 6th and 6th house, which is sign of litigation. But exalted, Mars exalted है. 7th house granted eclipse है. So we know this person does not want to go back, and chances are will not go back. The 12th Lord is also sitting in 7th, so he will not go back. But for him to see some asylum or whatever, हमें एटलीस्ट 12th हाउस पे कोई एस्पेक्ट देखना. अब दशा चल रही है शनि की दशा अब 24 में स्टार्ट हुई. The first half is going to be focused on 7th house and next half is going to be that. I can safely say that अगर इनको कुछ होता भी है asylum में, I don't see any movement for at least a year. Okay,
जी, I
nothing.
hope you got your
Nothing for a
answer.
year
जी,
because Jupiter is also, which is, a strong planet. वो इस कुंडली में ना ही 12th हाउस पे है और आएगा अगले साल. और राहु also उसको देख नहीं रहा. So yeah, he has definitely has to wait till July of next year before something positive happens. Okay.
okay. If you have any more questions regarding this or if you would like to discuss in detail, आप डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट कीजिए डॉक्टर भाटिया को. सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको उनकी वेबसाइट पे मिलेगी saketbhatia.com. और इफ यू कैन टेक डाउन द नंबर इज 408-639-5300. To all the listeners tuned in, Astrology Show with Dr. Saket Bhatia is on Radio Zindagi. Live हैं डॉक्टर भाटिया अभी हमारे साथ. एंड इफ यू हैव अ क्विक क्वेश्चन, डू कॉल अस. स्टूडियो लाइन्स आर ओपन नाउ. 510-770-1550 is the studio line number. Be ready with your date, time, and place of birth when you're asking your question. If it could be about you, it could be about any loved one. Again, the studio line number is 510-770-1550. And to reach Dr. Bhatia directly, the number would be 408-639-5300. So we were talking about the house placement or aspects. How does the conjunction with other planets affect the debilitated planet during its dasha?
So English में एक saying है ना, you are the company you keep.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
इसका मतलब है you are greatly impacted by the people surrounding you. It is usually
Absolutely.
not the other way around. You you can influence people around you if you are exalted.
Hmm.
But if you're debilitated and weak, then other people will influence you. Correct. तो ये
Right.
सोचना है conjunction का मतलब क्या होता है. Conjunction means in close quarters, you're neighboring. Conjunction means जिस घर में ये debilitated planet बैठा है, उसी घर में या उसके पास बहुत close एक और planet बैठा है. If this planet is a very strong, favorable planet, then it is only going to boost the strength of this debilitated planet. तो अगर आपका Venus debilitated है, लेकिन उसके साथ Saturn बैठ गया या Mars, Mercury बैठ गया, which are considered friends of Venus, they're actually going to boost the strength of that planet. So Venus, which is not appreciating beauty, which is not appreciating worldly luxuries, because Mercury or Saturn hai, over time they will start appreciating. They will start getting a keen sense of mind for it. On the other hand, if there are good planets like Jupiter, तो हमेशा हर एक चीज को boost ही करता है, right? He's so
जी.
nice. So a debilitated planet, when he's sitting with another good planet, will always give positive results. एक इंडिया में एक डायरेक्टर थे सत्यजीत रे, legendary director.
Right.
If you look at his chart, it actually has so many debilitated planets. In fact, unka Venus, which is creativity, art, music, is debilitated. Now, he did not get the recognition that people today get. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the movies
Absolutely.
which are made today are they should not even be made into movies. But that is beyond the scope of this conversation. But
जी.
unka kya tha ki he had this vision. He was ahead of his time, right? So for him, his debilitated planet does not mean I cannot make movies. He is considered to be a creative genius simply because other good planets are helping boost that debilitated planet and telling him, you can overcome this. So remember, when you have a bad planet which is sitting with conjunct with a positive, it actually will help you. You will be able to overcome challenges in life with less effort than you think it is. तो जब आप कहते हो ना कुछ ठीक नहीं हो रहा, well, perhaps you need to change your approach in life. Perhaps you need to change your outlook.
Absolutely. On
Okay,
point. We have a caller waiting. Can we take a quick call?
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Bhatia.
Hello, Dr. Bhatia. I have a question for myself. My date of birth is July 7, 1975. Time is 3:54 a.m. and place of birth is Aligarh, UP.
Okay, Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh. Sure.
Yes.
आपका
My
क्वेश्चन क्या
question
है?
is, my question is about my career. Do I expect a promotion this year at work? I've been expecting it since last year, and it has not happened. So I was wondering if I could expect this sometime this year.
Okay, reconfirm. It was July 7th, 1975, right?
Correct.
Okay. July 7th, 1975, 3:54 in Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh. ये आपकी कुंडली जो
Yes.
है, you're a Cancer ascendant. Cancer means you are run by planet Moon. आपके ascendant में Moon and Mercury both are sitting together. Every time I've said in this show, जहाँ ascendant lord बैठता है, that house is protected. So at least health-wise, you should be good, number one, which is very important. Let's analyze your 10th house, which is your house of career. You said you're due for a promotion, लेकिन कुछ हुआ नहीं. अब your 10th house is run by Shani, Saturn. What does Saturn mean? I will give you delay in life. I will cause some problems. थोड़ा सा trouble दूंगा. Remember, अब तुम्हारी दशा भी शनि की चल रही है. तो शनि is the lord जो उसकी दशा चल रही है. But Shani owns two houses. First is the house of luck, and then comes the house of career. शनि की दशा 19 साल की होती है. The first half of Shani Dasha from 2017 to 2026, end of 2025 end, which is 6 more months, will all be about luck. The next half of the Dasha, which is 2026 to 2035, will only be about career. So, to answer your question, you should be up for a promotion. Now, Shani बैठा है second house में, which is house of money. The promotion you should look for is more money based as opposed to title based. I'm giving you a good tip here. Many people run and say मुझे VP से senior VP बनना है, senior VP से executive senior VP बनना है. But in this कुंडली with Saturn placed in the house of money, promotion तो आएगी. It has to come. But it should come more with money and lesser with title. You have the next 10 years of your life to make money and to grow your career, and nothing can stop you. In this kundli, it will not stop you. Your Saturn is not debilitated, it is very well placed. Okay. I wish you the very best. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhatia.
Bye.
We had another caller, and he also wants to take the answer off air. The date of birth is 19th April 1961. Time of birth is 12:48 p.m. and place is Udaipur, Rajasthan.
Okay.
And the question was generally about the health, but please bear with me. He gave quite a lot of details, that he has a debilitated Jupiter along with Saturn, and then he has a debilitated Mercury along with exalted Venus, and then he has exalted Sun and exalted Moon. So he just wants to know, like, what does this all means when it comes to health and other aspects.
So he's right. He definitely has exalted Venus, debilitated Venus with exalted Venus with debilitated Mercury.
Okay.
But हम बार बार कहते हैं when a debilitated planet sits with an exalted planet, it cancel हो जाता है. So we know there is cancellation, Nis Bang Raju. Okay, number one. Number two, Jupiter is debilitated, but he sits with Saturn. The rule is what? The planet which would be exalted in Capricorn is at an angle from the ascendant or moon. No, the planet which would be exalted is aspecting this house. So Mars तो aspect कर रहा है. जो शनि उसका लॉर्ड है वो भी साथ में बैठा है, तो जुपिटर की डिबिलिटेशन भी कैंसिल हो गई. Sun is exalted and moon is exalted. Again, moon is not exalted, it is strong. Exaltation would be at a particular degree. So question था, what does all this mean, or what does it mean for health? क्या
Health.
था इनका
Yeah,
question?
his main concern was health. That how will this all impact his health?
So याद है we were talking about health. So health is run by Jupiter. See, although a planet is exalted or debilitated, उसका असर थोड़ा बहुत रहता है, right? Always. So Jupiter, granted, is cancelled by debilitation, but थोड़ा बहुत असर तो रहेगा ना. हेल्थ के
Mm-hmm.
लिए we will study sixth house पे किसका एस्पेक्ट है? राहु, मार्स. Rahu and Mars are considered bad, right? They are not good planets.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter itself जो हेल्थ का लॉर्ड है वो शनि के साथ बैठा है. So definitely हेल्थ में प्रॉब्लम है. We know for sure. अब दशा चल रही है मर्क्यूरी की, which is also the 12th lord. 12th lord means house of loss. उसके अंदर जो दशा चल रही है वो मर्क्यूरी वीनस है, और इस कुंडली में वीनस इज एक्सॉल्टेड, सो वी नो देयर इज गोइंग टू बी मोर हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स. I don't know how to specifically answer this individual at this time, but all I can say is transit में केतु is aspecting your health. कुंडली में राहु is aspecting your health. Your Jupiter is sitting with a Saturn. You should be very careful about your health in this dasha. In fact, between now and 2029, you should be doubly careful about your health, as opposed to any things can go wrong. Okay, sorry, but that's what it is.
You can reach out to Dr. Bhatia directly if you want to know more about it. The number is 408-639-5300, or do reach out through the website saketbhatia.com. That's the website जहाँ आपको सारी information मिल जाएगी. And to all the listeners tuned in, we have around 20 more minutes in the show. If you still have any question, feel free to call us right now at 510-770-1550. कई बार ऐसा होता है ना that the planet is exalted in Rashi chart, but it is debilitated in the Navamsa or vice versa. So उसका क्या मतलब होता है?
See, Rashi is you. It is
हम्म.
your kundali.
हम्म.
Nothing can contradict the Rashi chart. The Navamsa chart is simply to increase or decrease the magnitude of the planet. If a planet is exalted in Rashi chart, but it is weak or debilitated in Navams, it loses a little bit of its strength.
Okay.
If a planet is debilitated in Navams, in Rashi chart, but exalted in Navams, it says you have the ability to make changes. You can actually do better than most people if you put in that extra effort. If a planet is sitting in its own house in the Rashi chart, but Navams mein he is debilitated, it does not lose its strength as much. It is still considered strong. Interesting, right? How exalted planet becomes weak planet becomes strong, but an average planet remains strong. ये rules हैं astrology के. So what I'm trying to tell you is, अगर Navams is a more clearer refinement, हमें सोचना है what do you mean by it becomes weak? What do you mean by it becomes strong? Let me explain. Have you ever met somebody who's very confident from the outside? You have, right? We all have. But from the inside, when you get to know them, they're not that confident. They're actually weak. They're weak minded. Why? Because this is what the Rashi Navams does. Kundali mein they're exalted. They show as I'm a leader, I'm a courageous person, I know what I'm doing. But deep inside, they're still struggling. They're looking for direction. A classic example is celebrities and actors. A lot of them have exalted planets like Venus, exalted planets like Mercury. But जब उनकी नवम्स देखते हैं, that same planet is actually very weak. They suffer from problems in their family life, dissatisfaction, depression. This is what it does. A debilitated planet won't take the results away from you. He just makes it difficult for you. You yourself are not happy with what you have achieved. You always self doubt. That is what the debilitated planet in the Navams will do. It takes away the
Mm-hmm.
real strength of what the planet is supposed to give you.
Okay. So अगर हम chart priority अगर हम decide कर रहे हैं तो we can easily say that the Rashi chart will be given more priority when interpreting a planetary strength.
I think that's a very tough question to answer.
Okay.
It's a very tough question. इसका actual right answer है, yeah, you're right. Rashi is the starting point,
Mm-hmm.
but the finishing point is the Navam chart.
Okay.
You ran a race and you won. Was it a 100-meter race? A 200-meter race? Was it a marathon? आप क्या जीते हो? Each has its own benefits, right? Each has its own claim to fame.
Right.
So Navam's chart है एक किताब जैसी है. The cover is the Rashi. If the cover is not appealing, you're not going to read the book.
Right.
Rashi is your cover. It tells you what the book is about. It tells you in general book अच्छी है, बुरी है, story क्या है.
Mm-hmm.
Navam's chart is the internal pages of the kitab. How good is the kitab? See, if the cover is good, you'll buy the book.
Right.
If the book is not interesting, you will read it and you will just say, I'm not interested. But अगर राशि ही आपकी खराब है, which means the cover is not good, you're going to struggle to go through the pages, even buy the book and say, मुझे लेना है. But
Right.
that doesn't mean the book is bad. So it's a two-way catch, right?
So it's like a
Many
combination. You have to start with the Rashi chart, but then you also have to give some preference to Navam's chart.
You have to. But again, don't forget, many astrologers say कि अरे आपका planet यहाँ strong है, यहाँ weak है. That is not how it works. अगर नवंश में weak है, it doesn't mean it's going to take away everything. Jupiter exalted in a Kundali, CEO's Kundali, will make him a very good leader for the company. But अगर यही Jupiter नवंश में debilitated हो, his own employees will not like him. They will feel miserable working for him. They will be mistreated by him. So ये balance होता है. Remember, Rashi is the rule. Rashi is, in fact, many modern day astrologers don't even look at Navams. What is interesting is इस show पे जब हमें calls आ रहे हैं,
Mm-hmm.
we are actually looking at both the Kundlis together. So we get you a better idea of what is happening. If you're saying my planet is exalted, but Navams में थोड़ा weak है, then we immediately tell you that there is going to be some issue in health. अगर दोनों
Right.
जगह strong था, we could say your body is robust, no matter what, it will go over it. So a journey है. Navamsh is like the journey. Start front page to last page.
Mm-hmm.
And Rashi is the cover of the book that tells you इसकी purpose क्या है. Okay.
Right. Yeah, makes sense, definitely. Are there classic case studies or examples where the planet's contradictory states led to unique results in someone's life?
Well, there are history to bhara pada hai with these kind of kundlis.
Okay.
Whether it is the kundli of an individual who's debilitated planet or not. But ये contradictory charts planets जो हैं, they have led to very unique life paths. Think of film stars, right? अभी आपको यही कहा था.
Mm-hmm.
So many Indian film stars have exalted Venus in the Rashi chart. Everybody wants to be like them. Everybody likes them. Everybody looks at them and says, "Inki picture release hui hai, I want to go look at their specific movie." But
Mm.
deep inside, they struggle. They're not happy. They show dissatisfaction, nagging. They're sometimes rude with their own followers. They could post something on social media which doesn't make any sense. Why? राशि चार्ट स्ट्रांग है बट नवंश वीक है. बट अगर आप फ्लिप कर दो, जनरली वी सी फ्लिपिंग ऑफ नवंश which means debilitated in Rashi and exalted or very strong in Navams in two types of people. One, in entrepreneurs and scientists, and two, in spiritual gurus. I'm carefully using the word spiritual gurus, Vedika, not gurus. बहुत फर्क होता है.
जी.
Entrepreneurs and scientists don't have it easy in life. You can't just take a piece of paper and pen and say, ये formula hai, let's make these chemicals and boom, it's all there. You have to fail. You have to struggle. Same with an entrepreneur. बहुत failures होते हैं, right? उनकी
Mhm.
life ही shaky होती है because इनकी कुंडली में कोई ना कोई debilitated planet है. You tell me one spiritual guru who you know who had it easy in life and started gaining followers very easily. None. It takes
Right.
time. It takes years. It takes a lot of people questioning their ethics, their morals.
Hmm.
यही planet जो उनको delay देते हैं, hardship देते हैं, struggles देते हैं, are the same planets which are actually very strong in their navams. They create individuals who have significant challenges in their life. But then, as the navams matures, did you know कि navams भी 32 years पे mature होता है? 32 year पे जो navams mature होता है, it actually gives them what we call overnight success. Inner blooming होती है इनकी. These leaders who were बचपन में कहते थे कि you will amount to nothing. कुछ नहीं होगा तुम्हारा. तुम काम नहीं कर सकोगे. तुम ऐसे ही बैठे रहोगे. They end up doing fantastically well in life because
Right.
Their early struggles is what puts them ahead. Now, if you have a debilitated planet, but you don't do anything about it, then there is a problem.
Right.
Not everybody who has a debilitated planet with an exalted in Navamsa does well.
Mm-hmm.
It is the people who understand that I want to make this change. Maybe they have a positive planet or a positive friend or a positive advisor who's telling them that yes, you can accomplish this. Right? That is what an astrologer is supposed to do. He's not supposed to give you hope. He's supposed to guide you. Hope दिया जाता है जब कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है. अगर कुछ अच्छा नहीं होता तो at least we can tell you prepare for the worst. आपका ये planet भी नवंश में भी debilitated है, राशि में भी debilitated है. इसकी दशा आई है तो you know you have to be careful. It will bring maybe disease, loss, misery, suffering, delay. Be prepared. Learn to channel it. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard for you.
Ji. We had another caller who gave the details and the question. So the date of birth is 29th November 74 and time of birth is 2:20 a.m. and the place of birth is Chennai. And the question is that he wants to buy his second home. Is it a good time or not?
Where is this, a man or a woman?
Man.
So could you repeat all the details again?
Yeah, it's 29th November 1974, 2:20 a.m. in Chennai. And the question is regarding buying a second home.
So this is, first of all, it's pretty impressive that somebody wants to buy 2 homes in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, in this market.
No, maybe they've done fantastically well. So
Yeah, good for them.
whether you buy a house locally here or you buy it back home in India, we must study your 4th house. 4th house property का घर है. इस कुंडली में ascendant lord is Mercury, which is run, and he owns the planet Libra. Sorry, Virgo. Jupiter जो घर का मालिक है वो 6th house में है, which is the house of debts, which means अपनी दशा में you can buy a house and you will incur some debt, but you should only buy that when there is दशा of that lord या राहु उसके ऊपर है. And coincidentally अब दशा चल रही है जुपिटर की और जुपिटर के अंदर दशा चल रही है मून की. So he's running Jupiter moon dasha. Jupiter and moon are 4 houses away Vedika in this kundli, and 4 represents property. Jupiter is the 4th lord. Rahu is on Jupiter. Jupiter moon dasha ends in September of 2025, followed by Jupiter Mars, which is also aspecting that house. I would say he should buy a second house. He should actually buy the second house now. In fact, if he can try buying the second house anytime before March of next year, it would be beneficial for him. But we don't see the house appreciating much in value. We don't see the house giving him financial benefits. Yes, he could rent it out, he could keep it, but appreciation nahi hoti is ghar ki, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's good for him to buy.
Ji. We have a caller waiting.
Sure.
Hello, you're on air with Dr. Bhatia.
जी, मेरा नाम पूजा है और मेरे को पूछना था राजेश के लिए कि उसके करियर के बारे में पूछना था. उसकी डेट ऑफ बर्थ है 29th जनवरी 1987, कराची में रात को 9:20 पे.
कराची में रात के 9:20 पे.
20 minute, I think, 9:20.
29:20.
Yeah.
ओके, एक सेकंड दीजिए. ओके, तो जनवरी 29, 1987. और आपका क्वेश्चन करियर के बारे में है?
जी, पूछना है कि वो अभी ना कुछ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस में कोर्स कर रहा है सॉफ्टवेयर में, तो कैसा रहेगा? मतलब कुछ जॉब मिल जाएगी या बिजनेस करेगा या क्या, कैसा रहेगा, क्या होगा उसका?
तो इनकी जो कुंडली बनती है वो सिम लगन है. सिम लगन का मालिक होता है सन, जो इस कुंडली में करियर के घर में बैठा है. तो वो तो आपको डायरेक्ट कह ही रहा है कि करियर तो मिलेगा, करियर होगा. लेकिन अब करियर देखने के लिए हमें 10वां घर देखना है, जो वीनस का है, टॉरस में। दशा चल रही है जुपिटर की, जो जो पैसे देगा लेकिन करियर नहीं देता। इनका कोर्स खत्म इस साल होता है कि अगले साल? क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से
नहीं, अभी बस जुलाई में खत्म हो जाएगा, जुलाई अगस्त में।
दशा चल रही है जुपिटर वीनस की, और जुपिटर और वीनस इस कुंडली में ना ही करियर के घर में है, ना करियर से रिलेटेड है, तो जॉब तो मिलना मुश्किल है इनका। इट इज़ नॉट लुकिंग वेरी गुड फॉर जॉब। अगर जॉब मिलना भी है तो इट लुक्स लाइक February March ऑफ नेक्स्ट ईयर, उससे पहले मिलना डिफिकल्ट है इनको। नहीं दिख रहा
उसके लिए
जॉब
कुछ
टिल
क्या?
मार्च ऑफ नेक्स्ट ईयर।
ओके, तो
प्लैनेट
फिर कैसा रहेगा मतलब?
प्लैनेट की पोजीशन ही नहीं है। अगर हो सकता है तो थोड़ा और पढ़ लो, बिकॉज जुपिटर एडवांस स्टडीज का लॉर्ड है, वो 5th हाउस में है, उसको एस्पेक्ट कर रहा है, तो थोड़ा और पढ़िए। इट इज़ एडवाइजेबल कि आप पढ़ो एज अपोज टू गेटिंग अ जॉब, बिकॉज जॉब का टाइम नहीं दिख रहा, सॉरी।
ओके ओके, कोई।
इफ यू हैव एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस आप डायरेक्टली डॉक्टर भाटिया से कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं। नंबर है 408-639-5300, और या फिर आप वेबसाइट पे जाकर इन्फॉर्मेशन ले सकते हैं, saketbhatia.com। अगेन द वेबसाइट इज saketbhatia.com, और यू कैन email him info@saketbhatia.com. So we are just left with 5 more minutes in the show. We won't be able to take any more calls. आप अपनी क्वेश्चंस सीधा डॉक्टर भाटिया के नंबर पे डायरेक्ट कर सकते हैं। यू कैन कॉल हिम राइट आफ्टर द शो एज वेल। सो डॉक्टर भाटिया, वाइल रैपिंग अप, हम लोग बात कर रहे थे अबाउट द डिफरेंस, या जो राशि और नवंश चार्ट में जो प्लैनेट की पोजीशन होती है। सो अगर दोनों में डिफरेंट है, अगर एक में वीक है एक में स्ट्रांग है, तो उसके कुछ उपाय किए जा सकते हैं?
We always say, yes, there is remedy for everything. But remember, Vidika, remedy is not about fixing your destiny. It is about bringing harmony and balance. Let's make that very clear.
राइट।
आपकी डेस्टिनी चेंज नहीं होती, बट एक pathway है जो इजी बन जाता है। ओके, तो अगर आपको यहाँ से सैन फ्रांसिस्को जाना है फ्रॉम फ्रीमॉन्ट, if you're going to walk, it's going to be tough. If you're going to have a bunch of friends walking with you, it's going to be more fun.
जी।
If you have a car, it's going to be even better. That is what a remedy is. So remedy जो है, it is essentially balance between outer reality and inner self. I hope that makes sense.
या एब्सोल्युटली।
If you have a planet जो outwardly बहुत impressive है, जो success दे सकता है, but अंदर अगर आप खुद ही struggle कर रहे हो, dissatisfied हो, तो we tell you there are some certain remedies. Mantras are very popular. Chanting specific mantras. Why do people chant mantras? Why are mantras made in the first place? They give you inner peace, they give you inner harmony and inner strength, right? They act as energy balancers. Do you agree? जो
जी।
inner turmoil होता है ना,
हम्म।
वो एक निकाल देता है. This is what mantras are doing. For example, अगर Venus आपकी कुंडली में weak है, but strong Venus है, but D9 में weak है, तो you will automatically start having problems in your relationship. You will not care about the other person. You'll start becoming indifferent. On the other hand, इसके उपाय हो सकते हैं that we help you by telling you आपका Venus थोड़ा weak है. Maybe Venus के कोई मंत्र है. Maybe there is a specific gemstone for Venus. Maybe there is a certain thing you can do, such as rituals जो होते हैं, like giving things to people. Donations होते हैं.
जी।
So I always say remedies 3 तरह की होती है: mantra, gemstones and donations, and they all work. They all work differently. They all work at a different frequency level, a different power level. You know,
But they are specific for every individual and what their
Yeah.
Rashi, like the chart, is saying.
Sometimes astrology may we cannot make the Lord of 3rd, 8th, 11th house, 6th house. इनको हम strong नहीं करते. But अगर वही planet debilitated आपको problem दे रहा है, then we have to look at another planet which is looking at it, who's sitting with it. ऐसे case में we try to make that planet strong. So to answer your question, you're right. The approach has to be specific to every individual at that given moment. अगर debilitated planet की दशा नहीं है, you don't have to worry about it, correct?
जी,
अगर उसकी दशा है, then you say yes, and then we try fixing. We do workarounds around it. How you're going to do it? Yes,
absolutely.
there is
So,
no one fix for everything.
जी. So just last 2 minutes, and I wanted to ask your advice for listeners who are curious about their own birth charts.
देखिए, अगर आपको खुद की बर्थ चार्ट पढ़नी है तो पढ़ो. There is nothing wrong. वो कहते हैं little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Maybe, but still little knowledge तो है ना. कुछ तो पढ़िए अपने कुंडली के बारे में.
जी,
Understand. What you can do is go on my website saketbhatia.com. वहाँ पर अपना date, place, time डालिए. एक कुंडली बनाइए. And then go on Google or listen to this show and see and understand with it. Oh yes, my self-confidence is low because my sun is weak. I'm actually very responsive, very loving, very caring because my moon is very strong. Yes, my family appreciates me or my friends don't like me. Understand these things about you. Understand this self-awareness का एक path है. It will tell you who you are, what your purpose here is, and what you can do to make yourself better. How you need to channel that energy so you get more success and happiness in life. That is what astrology is about, making you a better person and making your life better.
great submission indeed. With that, we are ending today's show, listeners. अब आप सीधा कॉल कीजिए डॉक्टर भाटिया के नंबर पे. We won't be able to take any more calls. The number is 408-639-5300. And again, the website for all the information is saketbhatia.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhatia, for joining us today, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Thank you, Vedika. Always a pleasure. Good luck to all the listeners. Talk to you next week. Bye.
You are listening to Radio Zindagi.